y'all, this is A Renee from Journal, Jot, and Jive. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, welcome to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, hey there. All right, so by the title, this should be called something like creative journaling, ideas on journal prompts. That's a long title. That ain't the whole title, but it will be a creative journal page, and then I'm going to list a couple of journal prompts. So what I thought I would do as I get back into a routine of planning and journaling is to take you on a journey, perhaps. But one thing that I like to do in my journals and planners, I'm always going to do a pin page somewhere. I haven't done it in this one, and I'm not going to do that as a video. Also, I just like creative pages in my journals. That does not mean every single page will be creative, but I do like flipping through and seeing a couple of creative pages. All right, so what I already did was pull some stickers out ahead of time, so we don't have to go through flipping and trying to find all these things on camera. And what I like to call that is shop your stash or shop my stash. Also, you know, sometimes I like to do a lot of self-explanatory stuff. You might see the same mug in my camera again, y'all. That's one of my favorite mugs that I like to use daily. Owls are one of my favorite, all right? And outside of that, I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I might explain a couple of things, and then, you know, I'm going to speed the rest of this up because I don't do very well trying to talk and plan at the same time, or talk and journal at the same time. But again, let's talk about some of the things we are going to use. I pulled out a couple of pens. I have some Tom Bow pens. I have a Pentel brush, and then this should be a Stapler pen. I pulled out some stickers that I already had. Of course, we know some florals are going to be in there. This says, "Oh yeah, keep going." And then I found some flowers to coincide with said page. All right. So now I'm going to sit down. I tend to stand up when I start the video with you all. And so now I'm going to sit down and hope that I'm in frame. I think I am enough. All right. So yesterday, that's the page that I did for you all to see. This is just the cover of my book. These pages, I don't like this little separation. I say it all the time. I either glue it together or I'm going to toss some pictures or something in there. If I feel like doing that in the midst of this, you may see it happen. All right, so then this next page is going to be what I call our journal prompt reference page. This does not mean this is what I'm going to write about all the time, but let's say you have a day that you're like, oh, I just don't know what I want to write about. You can refer back to this journal prompt page and and find one of those prompts and then get you a journal moment going. You can also find journal prompts. You know, let's say you're on the internet and you see something, you're like, oh, I think I want to do that. You can keep a couple of spaces on your pages and then just write them in as you find those prompts. So that will also just give you something to refer back to on those days that you're like, I know I need to write, but I don't know exactly what to write. All right, again. So the little bit of explaining that I am doing, what I'm doing is I place things down where I think I would like them to go, and then I build around it. So these were the main two stickers that I found. Oh yeah, keep going. And I want to place them, and then the flowers will flow somewhere around this, and then I'll write the prompts in between. Okay, so as a quick recap, we are creating a journal prompt reference page. We're going to shop our stash and use some of the things that we have. And when we say shop our stash, we're using those pens, the stickers, and everything else that we have probably purchased along the way. I was going to do some washi, but I did not find that washi, so we're not going to do that. All right, so I'm going to put this down, and then these are my two reference points, and I'm going to speed the video up, and you will see the page build out. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, y'all, so I am done. This pen that I'm writing with is trash trying to write on this page, so I wasn't necessarily excited about how this turned out, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right, so I'm gonna go over each one. I did not put a description under every one because I pretty much know how and what I'm going to write, but again, I wanted to go over it. All right, so if you've been around for a while, you know one of my favorite phrases to say is write your heart out. We have the word journal prompts, and then let's go over each. All right, so daily, weekly, or monthly recap. So basically, if you're like, okay, I know I want to write, but I don't want to necessarily write every day, you would skip daily and you would do a weekly or monthly recap. And in that recap, you're kind of writing about what worked for you within that week, what adjustments you can make, and what no longer serves you or what you no longer need, right? And so it can be very descriptive or very short. It can be a bullet point type of entry. Another one is goals. We tend to, at the beginning of the year, set out goals and then we stop. So if you know for the next 3 months you have a goal, you're going to write that goal. So maybe you want to declutter, and then you want to write, why do I want to declutter? What am I decluttering? And what do I look to feel after I've done such, right? Short entry, nothing major. You can even take a photo and add it to that. We'll get to that when I get over here. Affirmations, motivation, and quotes. Some people will look up a quote of the day. This can include Bible verses, Quran, whatever you are into. And then sometimes you might just see something that pops up and you're like, oh, that really resonated with me. And you write it and it becomes a journal entry. You can extend that journal entry by writing what it means to you. So there's that. Then we have photo entry. You're going to recap memories around photos. So let's say, for example, I went to homecoming and I have some photos and I do want to add that in here. So I'll print out a lot of those photos. I'll either do small blurbs around the photo or I'll do a whole entry based around that. Fitness and wellness. If you're on a fitness and wellness journey, you're going to go in and write about it. Maybe you write where you started out. You're writing some of your meal plans, how it makes you feel eating, seeing your progress. Maybe you declined a little bit and you write about that. Financial journey, very similar. So let's say you're like, hey, I want to pay some debt down, or I'm looking to increase my income, and you're doing that journey, your financial journey. You're going to write, extend on that. Book reviews. So I like to do book reviews when I'm consistent in reading. I will take a picture of the cover. I'll put it in there. I'll write about the characters, a little bit what I liked about the book, rate the book, and then that's it. Next, you have family, friends, and relationships. Whatever you want to write about it. Maybe things are going great. Maybe things are not so great. Maybe you are planning a vacation or any of those type things. Excuse me. You're planning any of those type things and you're going to write about it. Last, I put on here work because I did not want that to be the top of my journal entries. But let's say you want to write about work. Maybe you're looking to advance yourself in the job. You might want to kind of write about the things that you do in your job. Maybe things are not going so well at your job. So you want to write about some of those issues. Maybe you have to file a claim against your job. So you're keeping a record of that. And or again, like I said, you want to see the progression of your career. You can write about that. All right, y'all. So that's basically it. I just wanted to give you all a couple of ideas. I know a few people have reached out over the past couple of months. I just haven't been in the mood to do anything. And they're like, girl, hey girl, when you coming back? And I'm like, girl, I'm gonna come back one of these days. So this is where we're gonna start. So my encouragement to you today is, maybe to create a page similar like this. If you do, please repost in your stories and tag Journal, Jot, and Jive. I would love to see our community moving a little more. I'm not saying people aren't doing things, but even when I was scrolling, minding everybody's business but my own yesterday, I'm not seeing a lot of it. And I think we're in a season where writing it's very essential right now. All right. So again, if you're going to create this page, please create the page. Give me a shout out, a little recognition like Journal, Jot, and Jive got me back in my journal. and then share it, and I'll reshare it in my stories. All right, so I think that's it for this good old day. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to give this a try or if you're going to do a journal entry today. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next one.